So our city is going to continue to densify, and I think the Europeans are actually looking to us to see how to do high density well.
So people are really desiring really great shared amenity and a real experience of where they live and work. So investing a lot more in shared and public spaces in buildings, not only at the ground but at all levels of the building, is really critical, and that's something that fosters a strong sense of community, of collaboration and connectivity between people.
We've gotten quite good at designing for an experience, but we've got quite good at designing for an experience of one type of person. And so we really need to think about that social element of what we're designing and making sure that, the messiness and humanity of life is still there, even though we have these highly technical buildings that are covering up our streets.
It's key to make sure that you don't have a development that is focused on any one issue, but instead is multifaceted and can achieve across the board in delivering the outcomes that satisfy a rather extreme list of project brief requirements for all those involved in the success.
As architects, we deliver buildings that we design today for something that will be built in 5 years' time and will be used for another 100 years after that. Architecture actually shapes the new society, the society of the future. So we're actually solving future problems for society we don't even know how they will operate.
The big drivers that we grapple with every day include resilience, how we make our buildings deal with extreme events and the chronic stresses of climate and social change. Urban ecologies, how we make places for people. Of course, energy efficiency. Facades continue to be at the front line, literally, of how we make our buildings more energy smart.
This year's event we found very important, and it was really beneficial to us, because we're actually targeting the right sort of people, the architects and developers who are looking at products for super high-rise buildings. So to us, we just saw this the perfect forum for us to actually show our new products.
We found that every industry leader comes to this event year on year, and we have to be here to be with those people.
What's good about it is we're seeing some of the same challenges from different perspectives, different design initiatives and responsibilities. So that's always good to figure out how we're going to have to collaborate in the future to handle these issues, same issues, but from different angles.
Commercial viability is obviously absolutely critical in developing a skyscraper. I think that tenant and market acceptability and delivering the types of spaces and buildings that a tenant requires and that deliver those outstanding investment performance is absolutely critical.
We know people move around the world a lot. Younger people, Gen Y and beyond, really are very particular and specific about the kind of place they want to live. So all of these cities are kind of locked in this battle to attract the best of global talent.
Most towers in our city, in almost every city, tend to be grey and anonymous. They're made with aluminium and dark grey tinted performance glazing. And I've always felt that they look a little bit like security guards wearing sunglasses. You cannot see them, and the goings-on inside them are a bit of a mystery. Why do we make buildings this way? Why do we make them appear like this? And I think now very few progressive organisations think of themselves like this, or want to present themselves in this anonymous and evasive way.
What I've enjoyed is hearing incredibly focused and detailed presentations, looking at facades and how they actually work and how they're made and how those different construction techniques change the way they work and perform. What's changing around the corner and how legislation is going to force changes. And these are all things we've spoken about quite a while, but they've always been out on the horizon, but now it's here and tomorrow. So we, the architects, the developers who are our clients and the government, we've got to act on that. Our buildings have to be smarter. So it's not just something that people now are talking about, but we need to do.
Social interaction and connectivity and workplace productivity are the core of high-rise buildings when we're designing workplace. So we're designing buildings from the inside out, and we're designing buildings around floor plates that help people connect and communicate. So today, workplace is driven by the desire to bring people together so that they can communicate and collaborate and come up with better solutions, and it's all about people interacting.
think there was obviously a very strong human basis about where we are now, and I think that was very intriguing from where we were from last year's summit. I think now there's quite an emphasis in the human being that's happening now and about how our humans experience buildings. I feel though next year's summit will become more about the building to the much broader precinct and much broader about the city, and that where we talk about social architecture, it's not necessarily about the traditional idea of a building, it's about what it means to create some cities in a much broader sense.